Anyone want to give it up for Jester Gaga and the cast of Chuck? I'm Dan Feinberg.
We have here a great panel starting from the your far left, recent graduate of the El Segundo School of Business, Big Mike, Mark Christopher Lawrence.
Master of Missile Command, expert stalker, and the Jeff and Jester, it's Scott Krinsky.
He is the stir that stirs the drink, and he's one hell of a dancer, Vik Sahay.
When he isn't rescuing African dictators, he's doing inverted pull-ups. Let's Captain Awesome Ryan.
Out of Africa comes Chuck's beloved sister Ellie, Sarah Lancaster.
On Chuck, he's gun-toting new dad John Casey.
She got her first name this year and finally learned to love a nerd as Sarah Walker, Yvonne Strahovski.
So, Benny Hanna didn't exactly work out, but everything else worked out this year for Mr. Morgan Guillermo Grimes. It's Josh Gomez.
He's the reason we're all here. He's the master of Chuck Fu, is Chuck Bartowski, Zachary Levi.
And finally, two men so spoiler adverse they still haven't told us what's happening at this panel, and so joined at the hip they share one intercept between them. It's Mr. Chris Fedak and Mr. Josh Schwartz. So, several people have asked us in the past few days how this co-moderation thing is going, and we have a secret weapon.
This is my daughter's stuffed puppy. His name is John Casey, and whoever holds it gets to ask a question.
We think the system will work. So, the first question is really for the cast. Last year, there was a lot of drama. I remember Subway sandwiches, I remember rending of garments, and you all came back. Now, this year, it felt like there was a little bit less drama, but what did it actually feel like to you guys to get that fourth season pickup and to be back here again?
Starting with
whoever wants to
how
take
about we start with you, Ryan? Well, I mean, I don't want to throw out awesome, but, you know, when time calls for it, it was more than awesome.
Any of you guys have any doubts?
There's always honest cynicism that comes along with this game, but we had a lot of people who were really rooting for us, the network and the studio, and the fans have been a really huge plus. That's the key. You really put us over the top, so thank you very much.
So, Josh and Chris, we have a few questions for you about sort of where the show.
No, Adam just targets some people.
Did you say target?
Alright, so when we left Dan last season, people seemed pretty happy with the status quo of Team Bartowski. Morgan had joined the group. He was working nicely. Now Chuck has quit the CIA. How is this going to work?
That's a very open-ended question. How is the show going to work, or how is Team Bartowski going to work?
A little bit of both.
Well, I think what's really fueling this season, as we saw, is everybody excited about who's playing Mom, by the way? That's really going to be a huge part of the season, the search for Mom, and that's obviously a story that lands in Chuck's spy world and in his personal world, and how he's going to navigate that is really going to drive so much of season 4. But I can tell you this, Are you pouring water into the microphone? So try to make the entire ballroom pee. That's right. I think I can tell you this: Chuck and Morgan are going to be a pretty bad but good but bad spy team.
I think another part of it too, just going off the Team Bartowski, is that just Josh and I and the writers, as well as the cast, we really liked Operation Bartowski, so we're not super excited about splitting them up. It's like we want to see them back together and doing really cool things.
So you mentioned Linda Hamilton. How did she come to enter your sphere?
You know, we've learned to take our cues from people gathered here today, and that was somebody that we saw there was a lot of excitement for. She obviously is someone that lives in the universe of the show. We always try to cast these parts of like, if Chuck and Morgan were real people, not that we're saying they're not, who would they be excited about playing these parts? And I think, you know, Linda Hamilton has been such, you know, she's such an icon in terms of that action female badass mom, and I think that really speaks to what we're looking for. And the fans had put that out there, and she actually had heard about it that way as well, and said, "I heard I'm Chuck's mom." Is that true? You don't want to say no to Linda Hamilton. So.
Well, from backstage, it sounded like people were happy. Are we happy with Linda Hamilton? So guys, any hints on when we might be first seeing her?
You'll see a glimpse of Mom in episode 1.
And what other guest stars can you talk about, either new people or people who are coming back?
People are coming back. Oh, you mean like Nicole Richie?
Yeah.
Olivia Munn, we're very excited about.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dolph Lundgren, Ivan Drago himself. Isaiah Mustafa, the Old Spice guy. Well, we're going to have this thing, it kind of gets into a larger question of, you know, the buy more and what happens. But let's just say the buy more has now been taken over by the CIA. Let's just say that happened.
Owned and operated.
Owned and operated by the CIA. So now they have the most incredible buy more employees you've ever seen. And, every week, you know, in the first episode, we will meet Olivia Munn's character named Greta, who is this amazing CIA operative / buy more executive, green shirt. And then every week we will have a new Greta. And whether it's a woman or a man, the character's name will be Greta. We're not that good at coming up with names. And so Olivia Munn is the kick-ass operative green shirt in the first episode. Isaiah Mustafa is the kick-ass green shirt in the second episode. And that's really as far as we've gotten.